welcome to Web of Stories. My name is Melinda. It is time for my weekly wrap up. Now, I normally do this, Itchy nose, it always starts when I start filming. I always do this like drinking my morning coffee, but I was kind of disorganized this morning, so it's like lunchtime, so here you go. Waterloo, do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do. That's my lunchtime drink. Anyway, so this week has been pretty much dominated by booktube prize reading, which I'm really enjoying. I'm still trying to decide if I'm going to do the second round, put my name in for the second round. I am going to put my name in for the finals. For the second and third round, I'm not sure yet. We'll see. Because while I'm really enjoying doing it, it is also changing the way I'm reading. So, there you go. Other than that, there's not much to reply for this week because I've been like reading a lot. I do have my book club coming up tomorrow, which is my Marginals and Margaritas book club. I had to miss my library book club this month because I had to go to a funeral. But my marginalized authors book club is tomorrow, and we're going to be discussing The Good House, and I have thoughts. Unfortunately, don't know if I can remember my thoughts because I read this a while ago because it was long, and then I gave my book to my friend who couldn't get a copy because she's another book club member, and so we're going by memory here. We'll see. We're all friends, so it's fine if I'm like, then what happened? I mean, I remember the story, but you know, the details. And I remember there were a lot of details I didn't think needed to be in there, but oh well. That is that. What else? Oh, I am so close to 500. I'm gonna have to like break myself of looking at my count after I hit 500 because I have been watching it. But if you missed my other videos, I am so close to 500. And as of right now, until 1 week after I hit 500, I'm accepting like questions, like ask me anything questions. And then at the end of this month, I will do a 500 followers, question and answer video. So whatever you want to ask me, go ahead and ask me. You can put it in the comments down below. You can put it on my community tab. You can contact me through one of the ways that are down below or on my end screen, whatever. You can ask me anything. Within reason, okay. Let's see, what else? My daughter's gonna be 15 on Tuesday. That's scary, but she's a good kid. I will say I know other 15-year-olds, and I'm glad I have that one. But yes, so we'll be celebrating her birthday on the 13th, which is her birthday. And then we're gonna go because it's also Shrove Tuesday. I said we could go out for sushi, which she's had sushi before once and she loved it. And I'm not a sushi person, so like sushi is not something we normally have. And she said, no, we have to have pancakes. So there's a little diner in our town. It's in an Airstream. It's really cute. The food's fine. Food is fine, but they like it. So she wants to go there and have pancakes. We had to take a break several years ago from going to that diner because one time my son got chocolate chip pancakes and chocolate milk and ate it way too fast and all over the floor. Just and I was just too embarrassed to show my face there again for like a whole year. So now the kids are like, can we go to Blue Moon Diner? So that's where we're going to be going. So that's kind of what's going on. Trying to catch up on my comments. Bear with me. I'm way behind in videos. Just today, because I'm filming this today on Friday, I was watching Sue Jackson's like Friday video, and I realized it was last Friday's video. Whoops. Sorry. So I am catching up. But anyway, let me get to the books. This week, I finished a whopping one book. And again, I'm reading like twice as many books now. Well, I currently have 3 booktube prize books going. It is not a secret which ones I'm reading because I'm in Octofinal Group A. I just don't want to talk about the titles because I'm afraid they'll give something away. But I will tell you, I have 3 titles going. One on my e-reader, one in print, one in audio. And then I have waiting for me in Libby. I have another one on audio. And tomorrow, which is actually today when you see it, I'm going to be picking another one up in print. So then I'm just waiting for the 6th one. There you go. So there's a lot of other reading going on too, which I am not going to be talking about. But I did finish Tomb Sweeping by Alexandra Chang. I thought this was a debut, but apparently it is not. Days of Distraction. I've never heard of that. I'm going to have to see if that's a short story collection. I really enjoyed this. It's just kind of like just short stories about the Asian American experience being a young adult. When I say young adult, I mean 20s-ish. Asian American, this is not a young adult book, but that's sort of like the viewpoint of it. It does feel a little MFA, and I'm okay with that because this is clearly someone who's at the beginning of their career, and a lot of this is like different styles. Look what I can do. Also fine. I would like to see it. I'm going to look up Days of Distraction because I don't even know what that is. If that is a novel, I might give that a try because I would be interested in seeing what she does with longer form, although I do love short stories. So I really enjoyed this one. Would recommend it. It was a book of the month book, so if you ever want to add on or whatever, you can get it through there. And I will also say this I didn't realize this until yesterday, but I have my Storygraph challenge going, and there's some prompts on there that are going to be a little harder for me. And one I thought would be hard for me is a book with a cat on the cover because I don't read cozy mysteries. But look, here's kitty cats on the cover. So this counts for my book with a cat on the covers, but I'm probably still going to have to read a cozy mystery for a book with a pun in the title. We'll see. So that's what I finished. I started this on January 1st, and that's kind of like the rate I go with short stories because I usually have 3 short story collections going at once, and I rotate through them, like read a story from one, but the next time read the next one. And I don't read every day, but I read most days. So, okay. Now, as for what I'm reading now, that is not BookTube Prize and not one of my longer reads, like I've talked about before. Let me go through what I can talk about. So, first of all, I have my next library book club book, which is Braiding Sweetgrass, and you can see that's going well. I am really enjoying this, and I am not doing it immersively or switching between print and audio. I have decided to just do print, although I will do audio afterwards, maybe not right afterwards, but pretty soon afterwards because it is so lovely. The prose is just gorgeous. I love what she has to say. This is such a delight of a book. And if someone were to tell me, hey, here's a book about like plants, I'd be like, okay. But no, I love this. I'm really enjoying this one. And I know it's a BookTube darling and a lot of people have already read it. I think last year, the Book Naturals Book Club did it, I think. But anyway, if you haven't, highly recommend this one. This one's really good. And then as a buddy read with Maria Andrea at Books and Bocadillos, we are reading Symphony of Secrets by Brendan Slocum. I told her I was feeling a little bad about this because I was not reading it as much as I had wanted to because I think my husband doesn't want me to read it. Every time I would sit down to read it, he would like come and talk to me. Or one time where my chair is, the love seat is also right there. He just came down and started watching videos on his phone with the volume up. I'm like, why is it this book you don't want me to read apparently? But finally I got him into a video game and I came down and I was able to get into it. This is actually, it is a large book. It is over 400 pages. It's, let's see, get past the author's notes. Sorry. It's 424 pages of actual story, but it's a very fast read. I will say that. And I'm enjoying it, and I'm enjoying doing it as a buddy read. I think one thing that is happening in it that I think could be done a little bit better is it's a dual timeline thing going on. And it's like the current day timeline is sort of, we're finding out this mystery, and the past timeline is like what it was. I know the dual timeline is really popular, and a lot of authors do it, and I don't dislike it, but I kind of feel this way it could have been written in a way that wasn't going back and forth between timelines, in which the glimpses we got into the past came through the eyes of the future. I think that would have been a really interesting way to tell this story, which is not. Now, I'm this far into it, so I could change my mind, but that's just what I'm kind of feeling right now with it. But interesting characters, so that one. Now, 2 books that I am about to start. Just today, my hold of the audiobook of The Merry Wives of Windsor came in, so I will be doing my immersive read of this probably this weekend. I'm probably the last person in the Bard Room to start that, but that's because of the library, so I'm blaming them. Speaking of the Bard Room, I did film next week's draw, so I know what next week's is, and I know what April's is. So big hint there that I didn't choose the play I'm going to be seeing in May in there. So you have to wait till April to see what that is. But for the Bardroom people, I will give you a hint. There is a commonality between February's book and March's book. I don't think there's a commonality between March's book and April's book. I haven't read April's book, so I don't know. But there is a commonality between those two books. That's all I'm going to say. But yeah, I am really looking forward. We're going to see how this immersive read goes. This edition, this audiobook edition, the library looks like it has all of the plays. So if it works well, I'll be able to do this for future books. And the other one I'm about to start is to kind of replace Tomb Sweeping in my short story collection pile, and that is Night Side of the River, which is ghost stories by Jeanette Winterson. So Jeanette Winterson wrote The Gap of Time, which was the Winter's Tale retelling that I read. But I saw this book, Jennifer at Jennifer Loves Books was reading it. So I was like, ooh, that sounds interesting. And of course, because I have no self-control, I ordered it. So I do like ghost stories. And I really liked Jeanette Winterson's writing in Gap of Time. So I'm looking forward to starting this one. It hasn't made its way to the top of the pile yet. So now, on my e-reader, so I am doing a BookTube prize book on my e-reader, but I am also doing Indigo, which is Indigo by Beverly Jenkins, which is a book that the Book Cougars were doing. That's our Q1 read along for this year, because their theme for this year is romance. And I'm reading this, and I have thoughts. I can't remember. I don't even think I'm quite halfway through yet. And I did put it down sort of intentionally for a little while, because I came to a part which I found troubling. And I realized it's because this is a romance from the 1990s, and things were different in the 1990s. You know, I don't like that. You know, we throw that around when we come to anything problematic in a book that, in like an older book, we'll say, well, you know, it was a different time. That comes up a lot when you talk about sort of the anti-Semitic and racist language in like Agatha Christie's books. And I've done videos about that. It's like, well, it was a different time. No, it's still, So I have, it's hard for me to kind of swallow this and just go, oh, it was a different time. But I do also know that romance novels in the 80s and 90s were different, and different things were considered acceptable then. So yes, that's kind of where I'm at with it. But I will say it's very well written, interesting characters. Historically, it's set during like, I think 1851 or something, and it involves the Underground Railroad. So I'm learning some things about the Underground Railroad that I didn't know. So that's good. But yeah, there's things where I'm like, that's creepy. That's skeevy. And then on audio, I am still listening to Mrs. Moore is Missing by the author whose name I cannot pronounce. It'll be down below. It's, you know, it's fine. I'm enjoying it. I am really enjoying the narration. The narrator of it is quite good. And she's very fun to watch, and she does all the Polish names really well. Fun to watch, fun to listen to. I'm not watching her, I'm listening to her anyway. So yeah, that's fun. I don't think that this is a series I'm going to continue on with once I finish it, though, because I'm not really liking the main character. I think the main character is kind of annoying, actually. I'm in it enough now that I'm definitely going to finish it, because just it's entertaining enough just to listen to the narrator. And the mystery is fine. Yeah, sure, I want to find out who did it. Fine. But I'm not so interested that I'm going to continue reading with it. So there you go with that. So that is what's going on in my reading. It is a shorter video this week because I can't talk about most of what I've been reading. I am continuing to do my BookTube prize vlog, which will come out in April, of me reading the Octo-Final books. It is not going to be a pretty vlog. If you want those, go over to Farrah's channel, Farrah at Bookstalgic, because she has gorgeous vlogs. Mine is just me ranting about books, usually sitting here or in my chair. But yes, I'm having thoughts about these books. And I'm not going to say any more because I'm afraid to say anything. So we're not going to talk any more about that. But let me know what you're reading now. And yeah, if you haven't subscribed yet, I would really appreciate it. And I would love to have you subscribe and join us. Get us over to 500 so I can answer some questions. And, but also just subscribe anyway, if like you see this and I'm already at 500, because I would love to keep talking to you. Feel free to leave a comment, tell me what you're reading. And if you are in the United States, tell me who you're rooting for if you are going to watch the Super Bowl, who you're rooting for. This is the kind of Super Bowl I like because I don't really care who wins. I'm slightly leaning towards Kansas City because my husband is a big Seahawks fan. So like the Seahawks rival is the 49ers. So we kind of like have that thing going, but also I like Patrick Mahomes, and I think that Taylor Swift's getting too much undeserved hate. So I'm kind of leaning towards Kansas City for that reason, but I really don't care. I'm just there to watch the game. I am a football fan, but this will be the first football game I'll actually have watched this year because I was reading. That's the truth. Like my husband would be watching football and I would be reading. So yeah. Anyway, if you're watching the Super Bowl, let me know who you want to win. Just for fun. Okay, that's it. I'm babbling. I will talk to you later. Bye-bye.